you could use the khashuge, the spoon, to put some rice where? On your ma'un. Spoon on ma'un. Hello, marhaba, ishlonkum, ahwalkum. What's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel here, Rami the Iraqi. Today, this is part 2 of Iraqi words. I'm gonna give you some words that you can specifically use in the kitchen, all right? I'm gonna lay out the words for you here in Arabic and in English, so you can, in English Arabic, so you can read it, see the definition, and also if you want to read it in Arabic. So let's go ahead and jump into it. And tune in till the end of the video because I'm going to talk about a food item like usual. In the last video we talked about tashrib. Go ahead and check that video out. Today we're going to talk about kubbat musil, or the kubbat burghul, the big kubba. Okay, the first word we have is chemche, and every word I'm going to provide you with some examples. I may not write all the examples, but I'm going to say the examples for you in Arabic and also the translation in English. So the first word, as I said, is chemche. Chemche is kind of like a ladle. All right, it's a ladle, and you use that to, let's say, pour soup into your bowl or put something on your plate. Now let me teach you what plate is, so then I can give you some examples. Ma'un is a plate. Ma'un. So Rami, antini الشمشة da asubli timmen bil ma'un. So Rami, give me antini الشمشة, the ladle, so I can put in asubli timmen, rice, ma'un بالصحن. So Rami, give me the ladle so I can pour in some, or put in some rice in my plate. Rami antini chemche da asub timmen bil ma'un. All right, now you have some rice on your plate. Look, you gotta have some protein, all right? You gotta complete your meal so you can grow. So now you have rice and protein. So I'm gonna teach you spoon, fork, and knife, because that's what you use when you eat that plate. All right, so spoon is khashuge, khashuge, and this is in the Iraqi dialect, okay? So ani da akul il timmen bil khashuge. Ani, I, da akul, I'm eating, il timmen, the rice, bil khashuge, with the spoon. Okay, now you can't really steak with spoon, right? So you gotta cut that bad boy up with a knife and a fork. A fork is chatal, chatal, and another word is chingal. A knife is sitchina, sitchina. So ani da agus el steak بالشطل وسكينة. I am dagus, cutting the steak with the fork and knife. Chatal wa sitchina. All right, so now you finished your meal. Let's move on to something else. Now you're probably wondering, you want to go to your mom and say, Mom, how do you cook this rice? Can you show me how to cook the rice? So first of all, rice in the Iraqi dialect is timman. You cook the rice in a pot, jidr or disit. So your mom would tell you, رامي أول شي تجيب التمن وتحطه بالجدرية. رامي, the first thing you bring, تجيب, أول شي is the first thing, تجيب, bring, التمن, the rice, وتحطه, and you put it بالجدر or بالجدرية. Okay, jidr, as I told you, is the pot, the cooking pot. And then you pour in some water, whatever. Now you have rice. You want to put it in a big tray. Big tray is صينية, صينية, because you want that rice in a big tray, so then you can use the what? The ladle, the chemche, so you can also put some rice, or you could use the khashuge, the spoon, to put some rice where? On your ma'un. Spoon on ma'un. Okay, so ma'un is plate, like I told you. Now let's say that you want to make that rice with chickpea. Have you guys tried that? Rice with chickpeas, my favorite. And you want to add some tomato paste in it, right? So Chickpea is hummus. Okay. Where do they usually put the chickpea? In a can, right? Can is قوطية. So قوطية مال hummus. Okay, the chickpea, the can of chickpeas. قوطية مال بيبسي. Don't drink Coke with sugar. Okay, go to Diet Coke. Stay healthy. All right. قوطية بيبسي. قوطية معجون. So you could get a can of paste, tomato paste, معجون. And also, the tomato paste is also in a glass can. A glass can would be شيشة, شيشة معجون. And also a pitcher of water. So, a pitcher of water is شيشة or دولكة. Okay, so if you're at the restaurant, let's say you tell the waiter, جيب لنا دولكة or شيشة مال مي. So bring us دولكة, a pitcher, or شيشة, also it could be a pitcher if you're talking about water, مال مي, for water. Okay, so now let's get back to our example of the rice, right? So تجيب التمن, you bring the rice, تحط المعجون, you put the paste, the tomato paste, معجون الطماطة, tomato paste, من الشيشة, from the can, وبعدين تفتح قوطية الحمص, and then بعدين تفتح, you open قوطية, the can الحمص, وبعدين تحط الحمص بالتمن. You put the rice, you put the chickpeas in the rice. تحط الحمص بالتمن. Okay, so I'm going to say that again. تجيب شيشة المعجون طماطة, تحط معجون طماطة بالتمن. So تجيب شيشة معجون طماطة, you bring the can of tomato paste, تحط معجون طماطة بالتمن, you put tomato paste in the rice, وبعدين تفتح قوطية الحمص وتحطها بالتمن. And then you open the can of chickpeas and you put it in the rice. Okay, remember that steak that I talked to you about earlier? You had to cook that steak, right? In a frying pan. Frying pan is طاوة. So, تجيب steak, تحط الsteak بالطاوة. Okay, you bring the steak, you put the steak بالطاوة, and you cook it. Now you want to eat that Iraqi bread. Okay, Iraqi bread, you know how bread is made from flour. So, sifter is minkhal. Minkhal for the flour, and then you make the dough, عجينة, dough, and then you make the bread. Where do you make the Iraqi bread? Tannoor. Okay, as you can see here. Tannoor is where that circular oven that you put the Iraqi bread that kind of looks like naan. Alright, look, now you have a good meal. You got rice in there, some chickpeas, you got your fiber, you got your steak, your protein. Look, what's missing? Some vegetables. خضروات, vegetables. So you bring the cutting board. تختة. تختة is a cutting board. You bring the cucumber, الخيار, on the cutting board. You cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it. So, تختة is cutting board. You made your salad. Now you got all a perfect meal with all the nutrients. You finish the meal. You want to drink some tea. You want to drink some of that nice Iraqi tea with hell, cardamom, hell. Okay, so istikan is the cup for the tea. Istikan. The pot where you put the tea in is quri. Quri, that's the teapot. Quri. And you know sometimes when you make that black tea and there's some black leaves at the bottom, right? So you bought that Iraqi tea, there's some black leaves at the bottom. So now, when you're pouring the tea from the quri, when you're pouring the tea from the quri is the teapot, to the stikan, okay, you have to put a strainer, musfi. So musfi is the strainer. This will catch the tea leaves, so when you drink it, you don't swallow it. All right, now the favorite part of the class, لكبة برغل. Very easy to make, okay? I may not say all the details correctly, but you could look it up. I'm gonna leave the name for it, but it's literally is burgle, okay? Burgle wheat, and it's made from burgle wheat, as you can see in the picture, and it's stuffed with ground beef and some onions, and you can put the spices. You can fry it, which I don't recommend because it's gonna hold up a lot of oil. I'm all about health, low calories. Or you could cook it in water, boiling water, okay? So you can enjoy it. It's nice that way. It's healthy. You get your proteins, you get your fiber from the burgle, all right? So I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Again, thank you for all the support. If you have any questions, comment below. I answer all the comments. Or DM me on my new Instagram. I'll leave the links for you in the description and on the screen, Rami_the_Iraqi. And shukran.